lean this series in towards T1's favor, but as we've learned in EMEA many a time, FUT are very good at sort of breaking those norms. In the early stages of the round, though, we're going to have to build up in towards that A site. Leading that charge, Carpe with the Tiger, and Sire's already in.
He's done well to find the first, but he's stuck inside those mollies and can't make his way out. A Nano Swarm kill on Saya, and a blindsided swing. Ada Captain only gets one for his trouble, but the numbers, they stay in their favor as FUT control the site. The spike on the floor as well, and Munchkin has no idea on that final player. He spotted him now, but not able to adjust in time. The first round is for FUT. Of their opponent that so far seems to be paying dividends. With T1, sure, they're poking and prodding across the map, trying to find some presence, but they intend to finish things off on A, and already we've seen Munchkin dropped, trying to get a bit of info around that corner. They don't know how many players are up close waiting.
Yeah, I think one of the things we're going to have to try and sort of focus on throughout the map is where Krax is placing that knife, where he's finding that information, because a lot of the time, you're going to lose control of certain spots, of course, especially with that Killjoy. You can kind of lock down angles, as you can see on the map at the moment, with that mid-control still being held onto, but they have given up a little bit of space. As you can see, though, from Moj,
30 seconds
is
left.
definitely aware of it, and for T1 now, they're starting to run out of time.
We'd spoken many times about the discipline of FUT in the regular season over in EMEA, and we're seeing it here very much under control as they don't overextend and offer anything. 15 seconds on the clock as the push comes through. Snakebite's good, but they can't follow up on the damage. And now a chance for that spike to actually be planted for these players who've waited out for the past 2 minutes to finally force some fights, and they're favorable to begin. A post-plant setup as well with Viper utility to play off of. FUT will find this difficult. It starts by rooting out Saya player who's finding two! They're unable to do anything about this man, and now support comes in. The trade maybe not on time, but with 45 HP and 2 players left to take down, Krax is in a lot of trouble. He's trying to fight them, and he'll get both of those duels on an offer. On his plate, eaten up, and 2-0. He's out of their opponent's control, and they're gonna flash through to make the big play. And even then, it's not catching anyone. They've been fully pushed back by the util and a plant acquired.
Needing the heals for a little bit of help, and actually it's going to be Krax to get rid of Ban. Spike not quite being planted. Zed's aggressive position, he's got to be careful. There are multiple players just around this corner. The flash connects, but he's not going to aggress off it just yet, and Mr. Fallen is already going to put this into a further advantage. They need a bit of a hero, and the trades are fantastic. Leaving Saya player once again alone, and he's going to get cleared out. But they're going to
old wall on its way. Jet following up on it. Saya looks to claim some more scalps. Look at FUT's response, falling back and indeed conceding the entirety of this site. Players in the spawn, and that's about as close as they're going to be. The same attempt at spamming through, and it's done some good damage. Yeah, Ban is down pretty low, but they can be healed. And safe to plant inside of that cove. Viper's pit down for the post plant.
He's going to stay in it, I think.
Yeah.
Lockdown being utilized, but he doesn't want to give up that pit. KO ult's gone through on the other side as well, so it will be the detain for Zeta. He's able to hold on for the moment. Even still, though, initial frag goes the way of Kiwi's doing what? But Carpe just gets 2 through the pit. A little bit more for him as well. One more standing, a potential ace. But he's just playing passive this time, not looking to get over-aggressive. You know he wants that final kill. We'll hear the tap onto the spike, but it's not quite there. And Moj is going to try and close it.
Them very light elsewhere on the map. And unfortunately, well, elsewhere is where T1 are bringing it.
Unless they're about to use an orbital strike to deny this, there's not really much they can put in the way. Now, to put things into perspective, FUT in the past, even before the changes, got the majority of their rounds on that defensive side. So the fact that this is already looking pretty good for T1, the map changes allow you to get more defender side rounds in general, with that side being easier to lock out with an afterplant already. It's a question of how much FUT actually want to throw into this one. Now, they do have a bit of reserve cash, and for the other side of things, it depends how many orbs you want to sort of hand over to T1, but that's a damn good start. Carpe gone.
Yeah, he tried to sneak past the smoke. A second player coming from this angle later. It's Munchkin, but he's going to be caught. Oh, but the shot doesn't hit. Mr. Fallen. Well, they've definitely stumbled on that play with Munchkin defending this tooth and nail. The lockdown will be destroyed. Just about, but look at the time that it's bought. That spike already diffused. Ticking away quite far, it's half. They're going for it, they're trying to stick it all the way, but the spray!
Getting you into an afterplant.
Oh, much more shallow this time on the wall through. Trying to link up with the art
gone through.
players and then push on the back of it. Saya player will only get the one, and Carpe actually caught on the way through the molly, slowing them down on this and putting T1 in a pretty tough position. You still have a Viper's Pit to fight back in on the side of Foot. They need to take some space of their own, and that's exactly what they're looking for. Out of Captain in the corner, and although he's moving fast, he's not quick enough on his feet, but look at the HP of Ban. So incredibly low with Mods just trying to find him, and he'll locate that final kill, even save the op through to the next round.
Yeah, it wasn't bad from T1 considering how the initial fights went. Like, you obviously had the Reckoning thrown in, and there was lose one, and financially in the bin. But I see Sire on a hero rifle, Mitch, and you know, there's always hope.
Well, that's kind of what you're talking about. Immediately starting the round off with aggression, and T1 have not been afraid to have those quicker starts to the round and pump the brakes later on. Now, a rifle potentially to be retrieved for this squad if they were to double up and move through this area, but actually, they're going all the way back to their spawn, moving around to B long, and sending Saya player walking, well, by the looks of it, on a flank of his own.
He's going forward.
He'll be seen, they'll check in on him a little bit later on. Kiwi, for now, has to move his way out of this B site. Concede control. That's been the name of the game for these B takes, but this time Kiwi has something to say about it.
Yeah, he's left a teammate behind as well. I don't think Cracks was expected. The flank from Sire will dome one, but the trades are coming back thick and fast. Cracks has done an incredible job at the back of the site, and well, it comes down to Sire. He needs an ace to win this round. Doesn't actually know where his opponent is lurking. Cracks hiding on the backlines, has spotted the other two, but I think his life is on borrowed time. No, it seems like he read it for a second, but into that late lurk. The thing is, though, they're so confident in Kiwi's position. Almost caught floating through the air. And that's a big kill. Now things get a little bit panicky as the rest go pushing in towards that site. But Moj, as you said, has caught the spike.
Yeah, they went elsewhere. You know, that was just a flank on B. The lurk late into the round. Ban's up close, and they haven't spotted him. Good repositioning, spike retrieved, and as we said, you had that flanker, that lurker later into the round. Still, they're controlling the B site. Zed has got it on lockdown. They can move that spike around. They're doing so a little bit slowly. It is allowing Foot to rotate into position, maybe be close by. And it's not like Zeta has anything to catch them off guard here. He's very much just holding this map control so they can get the plant in late round. It's a good pivot, a good recovery. Munchkin, oh, he was so patient, but he's been spotted on the way back out.
I'm looking at that null command as well. Now they've spotted that flanker. Can potentially remove the util of the rest of their players. They know there's one in towards that back site, which likely means there's either one out towards long or back in on that lurk.
That's a great kill. They're starting to narrow down the angles, but they didn't know that Munchkin was still there. The
decided, okay, let's just put our most fearsome warrior there to hold on to those positions. Again, we're seeing this sneak up, this almost lurk through as they attempt to pincer in. And they've now spotted Sire in mid.
Yeah, at least two players coming from mid, and well, there were two coming from B long, but they've spotted them and taken them down. Maj up close is defending. And there's, wow, even players being dropped through the smoke. This couldn't have went much worse for T1. All of their info was found in the early round. Foot knew exactly what was happening, and their response was perfect, seeing the majority of the forces coming through double doors, so they look for the fight on B long, and then they can pivot with ease.
So he's got to get past an alarm bot, a nanoswarm, a turret, and a second nanoswarm. And that's just to get to the site. Information to be had already, insta rotation back.
30 seconds left.
There's not really anywhere for him to go at this point. The main thing will just be, can he cause any extra damage? Can he maybe get a plant for the extra finances? It's really not a good scenario. And in terms of the money on the other side, a flawless round would be perfect for the side of Foot. But we'll see if they're going to get it. 10 seconds left. He has to just run in at this stage and hope that he can get absolutely anything to get this all online just because of the space it builds up. They do have to be careful, though, because Foot have been very happy to just sit on the edge, spam through, and do so much damage, and it's worked out for them again. Carpe is going to be caught.
The lockdown's traded out as well. That might force some of these players to take a step forward in some circumstances.
As well.
But they decided to fall on back, concede that control.
I call this around the Observer's nightmare.
Yeah.
It's just every single ult just being spammed into position.
Viper's Pit went down, but so did Mr. Fallen. They've got to get on this spike pretty soon to force players out into the open, and there they are. They've spotted the whole squad, but there's too many bodies to take down. T1 holding strong. They've still got that utility to play behind, but Maj has got the angle up top. The smoke's holding off for just a few seconds longer. It could be long enough. Kiwi's close, and he'll get it across the line. Oh, a devastating round for T1.
Any expected T1, especially on their map choice, to come out swinging. And they are getting decimated. What a shot by Kiwi to start. These rounds may have been close, but the scoreline definitely isn't.
He's been a menace with that operator early round, but hasn't needed to do a whole lot. It's players like Maj, like Ada Captain, pulling it out later on. Krax, who's been an animal for spraying people down through smokes, well, he's finally gotten a little bit of karma coming his way. Flash ready. Carpe wants to punish. They know there's a player there, and they'll catch him through the wall. Great prediction from Carpe. And Kiwi not able to hit the shot with the op. Too many targets. All out in the open. He's got cover this time. A player up close, ready to help, and well, his help will certainly be needed. Mr. Fallen. Is he going to swing out to realize these players have given up the control? Yes, they've moved towards the stairs where the spike is dropped. Maj has the cross, spotted both on the way around, and now they can just hold this together, or maybe not. They separate, and Munchkin isolates. 40 HP and 4 bullets. The spike down towards the stairs. He has to move. And in fact, it's his opponent that's moving first. Maj repositioning, maybe knowing that the spike is there, that he can catch a timing.
It's just all about the bait. Maybe expecting to be surrounded. Now Munchkin's going to be the one to go that little bit further forward, hoping to find his opponent, but eventually he has to make his move, has to go for this plant, and he's not going to be expecting him to be in that same position, desperately trying to find out where Maj is coming from, but instead he's just wrapped back into exactly the same spot. Use the Skydog, the Tiger, to clear out some position. The fact is, though, T1 have a great read here.
Yeah, Saya player's flank should be perfect, but it's going to take a while to come through. The players on site will have some trouble holding it down. One wall goes through. This is going to section them all around the backside. Low HP, though, on Munchkin. He doesn't really want to fight, but it'll be forced on him anyways. Good opening for Kiwi. Just look at Saya player. He snuck past the turret. He put his cloudburst up, and now they have no idea that he is sneaking his way through. That's an awkward fight. It's bought time, given an opportunity. Perhaps Kiwi can win that fight now if he wasn't crunched on, if there wasn't support here to play with. We're back down to a 2v3. Low HP on a lot of foot players. The spike has to be defused, and time is on their side. They can swing out one at a time, or they can go all together. Double digits found for foot.
Yeah, that might just be the nail in the coffin for map number 1. For so far ahead, and even this round where there was multiple players within the site, it just seems like they did a better job of being able to trade out those kills. Maj as well, just having an absolutely star-studded performance. I believe normally playing the Killjoy more so on this map, but his Vipers look damn good. A chance for Saya to maybe do a little bit of damage. On the other side, it is just going to be this almost trap setup into B.
Now we'll see if the reward is there. A kill, just one to be found to start this off. The Marshal already going to be eliminated. That is very little fight in the side of T1 for this round. And at least Munchkin's able to grab another kill, make it more costly. But with 30 HP, his chances of doing that again are pretty low. And for the side of Foot, inching ever closer to victory on their opponent's map pick, you do have to wonder for Munchkin, maybe that Bulldog, it could even be worth bringing it through to the next round, but being so far behind, maybe they'll put stock in the 1v3.
Yeah, at this point, he's going to be able to buy a Vandal Phantom in the next round anyway, so might as well just throw this one in for some extra damage. Maybe try
their own little story this time around. The A site is under threat. Foot already having dashed in, taken space. There's some weaknesses here. 2 pistols in play.
Do they Vipers pick?
The Rifle's taking the fight, and Munchkin, who's winning them. A quick double, and this could be the best chance for T1 so far. The only downside is that Viper's Pit.
Yeah, they've actually used it. Even in this scenario where they're down a couple of men. Well, make that just one. Moj just managed to find another. The snakebite will buy some extra time, but he is not sitting still. He's gone moving all the way around. A decent position held, though, by Carpe. Just waiting on the other side, trying to find an entry back in, but Moj has found him as well. Having a lights-out game so far. Finally, Munchkin will respond, and now it's left all onto Mr. Fallen. Only a pistol in hand, but some low HP players, not this time, though. The time...
Mr. Fallen had the lockdown to work with. It's on the floor to buy them space on B. Oh, space that will be undeniable as they waltz their way into this site. The choice of where to plant is very much theirs. They still haven't gone for the plant yet. I mean, there's a lot of time for this T1 squad to get back in here, go for spams, especially with such an open plant spot. It's worked out, but you're going to be caught by the flash on the way through. Players spotted moving towards the elbow. That's where T1 wanted to fight for a moment, but Zed and Carp both down. Ban falls too. Bladestorm blinded in the open, and that is only going to leave Munchkin. Had some great rounds already, but not this.
Nowhere to be seen. In fact, Sire's gone all the way up mid, but he's going to be no help in this round.
Now Walkabout going to take a while to come through. Player like Munchkin may be able to find value if someone from Foot overextends.
Oh,
what was that? A collateral? Oh, well, now that judge is certainly looking a little worse for wear towards this elbow. They're going in, though. They've given him the control, and the fight is his. The lockdown online. And he can defend this. Pushing back in's not a good idea. In fact, they won't get anywhere close to it. Kiwi caught in the open. And we're back down to not just the way back through for T1, but the man advantage to work with as well. It won't last too long without a captain. The trade out is good for Mr. Fallen, and he'll close it at that. Foot with 13 to Los Angeles, but it isn't over yet. Now it's their map choice, and we are certainly not slowing down. The side of T1 had a lot of fast-paced takes, and kicking off this map, it's just the same. Saya denied that early fight, though. The Cloudburst not going to stay up for long. Their safe haven deteriorating. Out of Captain falls too. Moj putting up a good performance, but not good enough. It's left down to the Gecko of Cracks. And Tom, we've seen Gecko quite a bit. It hasn't been something to write home about for the side of Foot so far.
I don't even know if he'll use any of it. Just needs to land the shots. And that's where Crack seems to do his best work. If you didn't have enough of the Foot clutches in the last...
Freeze off. T1 got to start to feel deflated. Got 4 rounds so far in the series. We move on to the second here, and it's, you know, a decent bit of fighting potential. 4 sheriffs for the side of T1. They're already getting up close. Looking for some opportunities, found some, not converted, and shot after shot landing for Kiwi. That Marshall dangerous in a round like this. Nobody has shields, so you just shred straight through them. Interesting that you have even flank attempts coming through. This isn't the kind of round where I'd expect players to try to get behind with weapons like a Bulldog, but it will pay. It's a much better face to this squad.
Well, a minute gone. Bit less to play, but this is where the execution's going to come through again. Saya leading the charge, and he will find that opener. Moj unable to do too much, but his teammates at least trying to trade things back. This time, though, a little bit of damage to Carpe, but other than that, they've kept things relatively clean. And the only interesting really thing when we talk about compositions for these two teams, it's not so much about change of agents, it's change of personnel. Watching the switch up of Ada Captain taking over that controller. The same for Carpe, taking over Sentinel. Slight role switches, but nothing different in terms of what agents are actually being run. For now, Kiwi, anything he can find will be nice, but Carpe is going to land that shot and a much cleaner start. So, slight adaptation. This time, though, it is direct. Very direct indeed. The first 20 seconds of the round may have gone, but already into the site they go. And, well, you mentioned smoke spams. There's one apiece. Yeah,
Moj managed to catch them on the way through. That's the problem. They knew where he was spamming from, and, well, a lucky shot on the return gets them the reward. Flash for right side, but no follow-up. They're not looking to take that control, but they have spotted the operator around here. It's good information to play with. Thrash on the way through, and it catches nobody. They've sidestepped it completely. Not going to be retrievable in its current position. Ada Captain falls, and T1, they are in with a serious chance now, locking these players out of control. A quick double kill. It doesn't seem to be enough. Ooh. Even if that shot was connected for Kiwi, it would be a tough clutch, but with 2 opponents still standing, it's time to get out of there.
Yeah, good work from them. The ultimate as well from the side of FUT, not really placed in a position. I think the only players that actually could have caught were his own teammates if it went a little bit deeper. Opportunities to find something with that, but T1 have managed.
Slowed T1 slightly, but it has ultimately denied Kiwi's opening aggression. He wanted to be here with that operator. He wanted to be taking the fight down on short. Instead, look at where FUT are forced to go. Right out of the site. Playing way back. Kiwi's still good for one. But again, it comes down to the weaknesses that are backing him up on this hold. Really nothing to work with. And if it's that, not the operator finding the kill, the chances go way down.
Yeah, he's got the Blade Storm for the next round, so was willing to take a risk, and a risk being taken by the entire squad. They've thrown in the lockdown here. Zeta trying to hold on the edge of it, and he's actually going to go 2 with the spam? I thought maybe 1 at best. Okay, sure, he's going to go down, but he's already cost the entirety of the round. Cracks again, going to reduce the finances brought through, and you know what? Mr. Farland should get out of there with an operator. Considering the investment, it's not too bad, but more importantly, I'm liking the gall of Zeta. A little bit more aggression, a little bit more up in the faces of FUT, something that I think was missing in the previous map. And well, they are exactly where Kiwi's going to be going. He's got to get out of there very quickly. The counter util's been good, but Saya player is going to meet those blades. I feel like this is a moment where if you're T1, you go, nah, don't really fancy heading into that site. Still looking to check if that control's been taken by their opponents, but they are now going to start feeling out the map a little bit more.
Yeah, their issue is just how little control they can actually hold on to. Not having, like, your turret even sat on middle. These players could have pushed down. They could be in the window by now, wrapping up behind. That's not even talking about the A site. You know, ultimately, when you start around like this, a minute in, your only opportunity is to go towards C. But with Kiwi down, that opportunity now is a little bit more promising. Good stun, good delay, but the follow-up, the thing of legends. Sure, Mr. Fallen will go down, and some damage is found as well. But they managed to stall out that C push. And from the shadows, used to fake out that they're taking this to A. The fake is not sold, though. FUT still have 2 players here. One in the form of Captain, the other being Cracks, and that angle is certainly held down by...
Taking that space, he's going to get one for free. No, it's actually a miss.
Well, he's got the drone at least, but not quite the same reward. Gets back in time to be caught by the Rolling Thunder. Pretty much out of this round for a few seconds, and he'll be caught by Ban, who's doubling up on the site. Mr. Fallen catches them blinded up on site before he's dropped, but they can't get ahead in the fights. It's still Maj left in a 1v2. T1 have got the plant in. Now they can hold this down together, even looking to double swing it, and the double not...
Going into A in the same sort of pace.
Oh my, look how quickly the push has come through from Captain. Sure, there's a fight, a brawl, in fact, going down on short, but they have full middle control as well. At the same time, you know, FUT, they give it up late into the round. Probably good that they did. That lockdown could be served to fake out and rotate back across the map, but more likely just to sit in position and claim the space afterwards. FUT will be conceding it all.
Yeah, at least they didn't manage to get the thrash back, but that early usage again, just trying to deny the same sort of push that came through in the last round, and the rest of the team looking to build up in this retake. Now you have to bear in mind, in terms of utility, there's a couple of flashes. I was going to say there's no paranoia to get them back in. They don't need it. T1 went looking. They wanted to fight. They wanted to scrap, and because of that, they now find themselves in a 5v2 scenario. Flank comes through from Moj as well. Munchkin needs to pull off one of the most ridiculous clutches you ever will have seen, and well, they're already spamming into the smoke. They know where he is. It's all too.
So he himself,
yeah, he's
unreal. Having a great game so far. Shock dart through, double bounce, notification found. They've destroyed the alarm bot, but not the alarmee. It's Moj deleting Carpe, and that puts them in a bit of a rough spot. Their flank protection not there, and well, their flank wide open. Cracks has walked into it.
There's a reason the Turkish players only play the Vandal. It's normally because of the instant headshot. Saya player, though, can match them in that, at least. Now, they are going to have themselves an afterplan here. The turret destroyed for no reason other than fun. He is dead, but just in case, look how fast this flank is, though. Nobody actually watching in this direction. In fact, Zeta could be in trouble here. Currently using his drone, he goes jumping back and spots half of the team. The stun has caught him as well. There is no chance for him to survive this one, and in fact, at a captain, well, he may be getting assists, but he can also... He's already going to have to use a little bit of that utility. Again, this is something that Desk mentioned. Just try and bait out some of that util a little bit earlier on. Again, though, with how many kills Krax has been able to get, he can use that Thrash just to search, make sure that nobody has been able to get back in. And now T1, they start to build into this site once again, but they have got to be wary of the spams.
Yeah, it was a nice shot onto Munchkin already. He's in danger. I think it might have been him going for that orb. One away from Rolling Thunder now. Been used to great success previously to get them into sites, particularly A, where they now have a lurker. Just looking at the map, you can see Ban has snuck past Kiwi. He's now tucked in the corner. Space will be taken. It's Saya player coming up close, but further back was Munchkin. He's caught. Cloudburst, good the dodge on the Paranoia, but he'll still be taken down. Carpe with a good frag. They haven't spotted out a captain. He's doubling up, holding strong on the site. He doesn't need any help. Saw Thrash go in, but, well, he already had it on lockdown. Zeta, the last man alive. We'll find the first. Zeta captain's kill streak finally coming to a conclusion. But with just a couple of seconds left on that clock, I think we know this round is going into Foot's corner. The question is, will the rifle be carried through? The timing was nearly terrible. But it looks like he's locked it in.
Forward to give, because we've already seen it throughout this game so far. The players on Foot, each in their own right, will destroy you if they give them a moment's notice. Back to the pacey rounds. Rolling Thunder again. This is where they had one of their successful rounds. This time, though, Moj is out. And Kiwi, well, again, uncharacteristic, but it's a miss.
Oh. He catches that one. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, Kiwi over to the rifle. You know he's going to be used to claim some space in the way through. Stun held. Mr. Fallen's caught at least one with that. Aftershock for down below, oh, no. And that's a free kill. Zeta was caught in the turret. In the drone, I should say. Saya player is good for a double before being shut down. The operator doing a hell of a lot of heavy lifting on the way back into A. And another successful retake for the side of Foot. T1 started.
That lockdown available for Moj.
Blade Storm online. Saya player could be very dangerous with this. A pre-fire blade around the corner. And he's on his way through. Stun caught. He's up top, safe for a moment. Allowed to recover. Will he be spotted after? No, not before he can grab a kill without a captain down. Blades refreshed. And the site seems to be theirs. Even that judge going to be quite scary, as exactly for that reason. It's up close. It's able to spam in the smoke. And if anything goes awry, he has that Blade Storm still to fall back on. This could be a tough fight for Kiwi.
Yeah, I almost feel like at this stage, someone has to make a mistake. And while Carpe's doubled up, kept this further into their favor, Kiwi will be able to get one. And actually, Mr. Fallen's found another. Somehow, in this 2v5 scenario, it's beginning to look competitive with an isolated player within the smoke. Munchkin has a chance to put this one to bed, as Mr. Fallen is now all that remains. The other two players just wait. Of a dizzy a couple of times. Counter stuns already. Just trying to help out Carpe, but already being spotted by the wingman. He is going to have to fade off of this one. B site looks to be the point of call for Foot, but with Killjoy util and a contact player in Munchkin, you'd have to hope for T1 they can get something on the entry here.
Well, Kiwi's got some control. A player spotted as well. He'll look for the fight, and that's an execution.
Beautiful Paranoia.
Munchkin down immediately. The Paranoia even stopped the players further back from peeking out to help. There were two ready to swing. Carpe and Ban, and both have been found by Kiwi. They didn't take the fight earlier, and they were forced into it later. This is looking rough. T1 blocked out completely. And even that late flank that they're attempting with Saya player, there might not be anything left to flank. They have enough bodies to cover more or less every single angle at this point. And once they catch out Zeta, it gets tough. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, we won't even talk about that for Saya because it's an ace.
Both halves has gone as badly as this. Can we see some sort of response? Saya, well, there's definitely no fear here, but there is an alarm bot waiting. That's going to be destroyed. That gives Anna Captain a chance to protect. Okay, that was very that was very optimistic from Zeta that there would be no one there. And they're still trying to find him. Anna Captain just lurking around the back lines has caused them, well, mass amounts of problems.
Good luck to Ban and get more than this. Already spotted out.
Going to take a lot of initial space into mid. This seems to be their, pretty much their pressure. Look how aggressive he is! He's just gone straight through, already just decimating the side of T1. This was the round that they desperately needed to win. He's just opened things up with ease.
Made it look like an eco-ton. I mean, they've got rifles on the other side. They were ready, watching for that push through. And it certainly didn't look like it. At this point, I'm looking at the body language, looking at Ban's position on the minimap, and it's a save. They've called for it. Mere seconds.
And just look at what they've got. 2 rifles, pistols, and on the other side of things, they've got everything to play with.
Nice aggression, though. Saya's not only caught. Whoa,
What?
No! I don't know how he went down there. Sure, the trade is in. Just another remarkable fight from Kiwi. The advantage, though, is certainly falling into the court of T1. 2 rifles to work with. One of them is in the hands of Ban, who we see on the C side. Players coming from either angle. They know that Carpe is here now, and they'll shut him down. Only Ban left to find, and Krax does, well, makes it look easy. He'll be left alone. Still has his wingman to work with. Maybe the plant can go down. He can try to move to a post plant already, start the flank.
He'll get his ult off this as well.
Oh, that's huge.
It's tough to use in these sort of scenarios. To isolate a player. If he gets it into the 1v1, you almost have to say that this round is his, and Zeta is going to try and sell a ruse. Maybe that both players are coming in from that direction. Yet to move is going to be Munchkin. The spray's a little bit wild. He's going to go running back into his opponent. Munchkin will just about find the victory in that round. A little bit too close for comfort, and even a world where we might have seen a knife, but T1.
Just a wild swing.
Or even if
like
he just, the guy was 1 bullet off,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he probably kills
Right
him off
click
that.
classic.
But, hey, you can't blame him. Thrash straight through, as said. He has farmed this all up so many times throughout this game. Doesn't connect onto anyone this time. Kiwi's gone dashing into the site. Made space, but Carpe's done well. Instant trade again, though. It all seems to come tumbling down. Ban at the back of sight is the last point of call. His teammates with a supportive flash, but maybe he doesn't need that support. However, does he know? Look, there's a player right below him. He's seen the gun barrel. Eventually, he'll make the realization. The penny drops, and it leaves just Krax alone in this one to win their battle themselves. Kiwi, well, we've mentioned him going in solo every single time, but it's actually Saya getting caught. The trades coming across the map, individual fight after individual fight, but T1, they've come out on top here and have a lot in their favor. 2 ultimates if they need them, and a man advantage.
Yeah, and T1 know that they're happy to play retake on A if needed. Too much of a risk to stick around on site, but they have a lockdown, which can very comfortably get them set up. There you go. The star of the show.
Yeah, we love Wingman in this house.
The little bro, he's got the plant in. He's bought them that little bit of time now as the clock moves into their favor. Rolling Thunder avoiding it at first. Mr. Fallen actually grabs a kill off of utility, and he's still standing strong down below. Ada Captain on for another. Mr. Fallen still hasn't been rooted out. They just couldn't deal with this
Plant situation. And well, look at this from Saya, straight through. Looking to try and take this round, but the counter util hit by a paranoia and a bullet to the face. They've not got a lot to play with in this round, continuing the push, and they almost lose another life. Carpe tagged desperately low.
Yeah, left on 35. Lockdown still in his back pocket. He'll be avoiding further fights. Phenomenal beginning to this round for the side of FUT, and again, we see that discipline in play. Ada Captain and Kiwi holding the extremities for the first 30 seconds or so, but now the squad starts to group up. They'll look for a new target to take down, and it looks like the C site is what they have their sights set on. Ban tucked in that corner. He'd managed to sneak his way here just a few moments ago. Shot. I mean, that very much looks like that should be the only player here. They're not checking Ban at first, and they have paid the price. A double kill. The Hunter's Fury fired out a little too far away from the first, and nothing found in the second. This is right back into play for T1.
That looked like it was on, especially the first one, but hey, Ban has made this one competitive. Started to come alive over the last couple of rounds. Moj, Zeta just unable to connect. That's been a couple of opportunities in this round, and Carpe, well, he's low. Wanted to try and take a risk. Now just look at the space that is there for FUT. The other players so desperately far away. Now that alarm bot likely not going to be online from that sort of distance. incredibly far away, but I think the position of Moj holds a lot more value. Someone they need to clear. Zeta has done well though, but the trade is immediate, and now it's left all onto Munchkin.
Full belt of utility to work with, at the very least. That smoke fading. There you go.
Look at the ults.
The Rolling Thunder will be committed. They're not risking anything in this 2v1. A stun through gives away his...
For them thus far in this game. Ada Captain, is he actually just going to stick that all the way through? He did. He held it.
Oh.
He went onto the site and just found an opener. No fear in this man's heart. They've still got a couple of positions that they need to clear. The lockdown's going to make things more awkward, and the position of Munchkin could do serious damage. They're just going to back out of there. So much time on the clock that they don't need to risk it.
Oh, okay, one player detained. There was only space for Ada Captain. Couldn't fit two players in the safe corner, the safe spot. T1 back into A, 3 players here. I thought FUT were out, like fully out, once Cracks didn't go for the plant with the wingman. Once the spike went running back all the way down A long. And indeed, they will be changing direction, but very, very slowly from the shadows. Spots one player, but yeah, you're starting to get the idea that they're rotating. If you're on the side of T1, the plant coming
Lil
through.
Bro's got this one. Don't worry. Not need for any help here.
Boom. That's how we do it.
They
now
even tried to
very
paranoia.
quickly on it. They're going to try and defuse this already, tapping it immediately and causing this utility to start being thrown out. How has Cracks found that? A nail in the coffin for the squad of T1 as Cracks picks up even more. The flank is on its way, and that will...
All my brags turn to facts, all my hunters turn to racks, all my ladies turn to snacks. SUVs black on SUV.